Hello and welcome to Dazatron's Diorama Llama, and this is just a short video just to finish off the year 2022. I know we are in the start of 2023, but I just wanted to look back. Wanted to say a big thank you to you guys for supporting this channel. Yes, I do produce these videos because I enjoy producing them. I enjoy making dioramas and being creative, but I like to share that as well. And you know, it's nice to know that there are people who are still interested in what I'm doing. So I really do want to say a massive thank you for just joining this channel. And if you've just kind of caught this somehow and you're not a subscriber to the channel, do please like and subscribe, because you know, it does give a real boost to those of us who are kind of creating this content. You know, yeah, we do it for ourselves, but we do it for you guys as well, because we're hoping that you'll get something from it. And I hope that you have. I hope if you have followed me for a while, that you've picked up some tips, that it's encouraged you to have a go at making your own diorama bases, backgrounds, or whatever it might be. And you know, I will keep adding new content when I come up with new ideas. I am in the process at the moment of doing a Dungeons and Dragons diorama. So this is not a base, this is kind of a full shelf diorama. So I'll let you know how that kind of gets on or progresses in the near future. But yeah, people are subscribing all the time, so I'm really happy to see you joining me. So yeah, this is just a short video of me looking at the things that I've purchased in the year 2022. Some of them vintage, some of them modern, why I've purchased those, I guess, and my top 5 just to kind of round that off. And I suppose part of the reason for me doing this is just a reminder to myself, because when you start to look back at what you've picked up, sometimes it's quite surprising how many things you've actually purchased in a year. And it just kind of, I suppose it's a bit of a diary, a bit of a record to myself. So I can look back at 2022 and think, oh yeah, I remember getting that. So that's the point of this. So hopefully you'll enjoy seeing this and comparing it to your own collection and your own top 5 for this year. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look. So this is my Overflow Shelf, and to begin with, we've got 3 Zero's Shin Ultraman, really cool figure. Moving on to McFarlane Toys Martian Manhunter. Again, a big fan of DC Comics, and Martian Manhunter was one of my faves. Behind him, we've got the Kangdeo, I don't know how it's pronounced, but they're Metal Slug 2 Transformer, which is again a great figure. A few other pickups there, Vintage Hot Rod and Astro Boy. Just a quick mention to these kind of headmasters at the back there. These are Fans Project headmasters, kind of some of the early third-party offerings, but really cool transformations on those fantastic figures. Another 3 Zero offering, so this was Mini Deluxe Bumblebee, their take on that. Fantastic articulation, doesn't transform, but looks really cool. And that's just, yeah, a quick look at my Overflow Shelf, where things go when I don't have them on dioramas and things like that. So I really got into some of the vintage toys this year. I actually thought this was 2021 when I began buying some of these, but yeah, I picked up Steel Jeeg there, which is the clear version, and that kind of started the rabbit hole of Microman and Micronauts. Henshin Cyborg in the middle there, which is a recent purchase. We've got Biotron, the Microman inside. We've got Red Falcon there with the wings. Moving up, we've got Baron Karza and Hornetroid, which is the kind of the weird kind of fly vehicle. And then this kind of custom that I made from a Force Commander. This is actually quite a recent pickup. From Unit 2 Toys, I think it is, in Wolverhampton. They're meant to be white when you get them, Force Commander toys. It didn't have all these kind of accessories. £15, really cheap. And I just thought, well, yeah, I'll use him and kind of paint him up. So I was really, really pleased with how he turned out, and it just kind of makes me smile when I look at it. So yeah, that's kind of my Microman and Micronaut shelf. And then moving up, we've got the Dinobots. Some fantastic figures here, just really nice, chunky dinosaur robots. I mean, what more could you want, you know? So I was quite pleased with that diorama there. I know you've seen this before, my kind of legend scale Transformer Arc setup. But yeah, a couple of pieces there. New Age David and Octavian, or Ultra Magnus. And in the middle here, one of my favourite kind of pickups. This is New Age G2 colours, Grimlock. You've also got New Age Depth Charge at the back there, and Shockwave. And of course, we've also got Zeta Toys Mini Superion, which is an amazing little legend scale combiner. Just fantastic, brilliant articulation. The figures themselves individually look great. And then more vintage stuff. Yeah, kind of got back into Battle of the Planets. Remember this as a kid, absolutely loved it growing up. So a couple of charity shop buys there actually. This was a model kit that a good friend Phil from Robot Recruits was able to find for me, of the God Phoenix there. And then we got obviously some of the characters here. We got, these are Jason and Ken. It's not Ken, I keep calling Ken, it's Mark, isn't it? And then these are some of my older figures, but I think there are some from this year. I'm sure Perceptor was this year, and Blaster. And just a quick overview. Unicron was last year. Really recent pickups, in fact, past week. These are the reaction figures from Super 7, but I saw these on a sale from Zavi in the UK. Just loved the packaging. I just think they're fantastic. Artist Ed Repka, I think it is, if I remember right. Fantastic artwork, brilliant packaging. I don't usually buy things, or certainly don't keep things in the packaging. I like to open up my figures, have a play with them, put them on the shelf. But I will not be opening those because they just look so cool. So then moving on, to a mixture here. This was a pickup actually this year from the Transformers kind of UK convention. Back in the spring it was. And we got the Fans Hobby there, Megatron. These were pickups from Lulu Baloo in France. Again, Micronauts, but they kind of transform into tapes. So mini cassettes, and then obviously transform into vehicles as well, but I love them. And Sea Spray in the middle there, which is an X-Transbots offering. We've got Dimitri from Darkstalkers, which is a Storm Collectibles figure on the left there. Fantastic figure, really, really good. Brilliant articulation, fantastic head sculpt. Picked up Tigra for Christmas to add to my Lino and Panthro diorama there. Mumra might have been this year actually. Might have been early this year, not too sure. But yeah, I love Darkstalkers, got back into it, playing the vintage games on my PS Vita. So that's the only one of the Darkstalkers toys that Storm Collectibles have done so far. This was my Christmas present this year, the Hasbro Dungeons and Dragons cartoon figures. We've been waiting so long for these. Absolutely loved this cartoon as a child. Amazed they never produced figures of these before. And these just look fantastic. And there's been a few kind of people moaning about articulation, but soak them in a bit of hot water, loosens them right up. You can get them into lots of cool poses. But I absolutely love these, and I'm just hoping Hasbro will do the rest of the figures, like Eric, and so on, to add to that collection, because they're ace. Got my Voltron there. I've got the Wind Girl from Bingo Toys. An amazing Transformer. Such a cool design. Third-party Transformer, that is. Black Zarek was an early pickup right at the start of the year. I think he actually came out December last 2021, but I got him early 2022. And actually one of my favourite pickups this year is Legacy Inferno from Hasbro. Just great in both modes, his ant mode and his robot mode there. Nice kind of little paint apps on him, and just looks great. Wasn't into Beast Wars. In fact, Beast Wars was what kind of took me out of collecting Transformers. Just didn't take to the cartoon. I just found it very different to the G1 offerings that I was used to. And moving on to my last kind of display case. So those are some older figures there. So APC Toys Arachnid. And I'm sure you've seen my diorama video of this one. But an amazing figure. Really good. Based off the Prime, Transformers Prime series. Great articulation. Lots of cool modes. So I've got my old Masterpiece toy. This wasn't a pickup this year, but next to it is the HasLabs Victory Saber. Fantastic. I was fortunate I didn't have any QC issues on mine. Just such a great figure to play with. Looks amazing in his combined mode with Victory Leo. In fact, probably the best combined mode I've seen up until now. But really pleased with how he looks. And nice to have both modes on display, because that's not something I can do very often. Deathsaurus was an older figure I picked up, but I did pick up Megatron this year from the NEC Toy Fair in Birmingham. This was from Magnum Prime. He offered it to me. It is a third-party offering, but yeah, fantastic. It is a KO, not an original. And then, yes, Motu Origins, their version of Hordak. Really great kind of, you know, flashback to the toys that we picked up as a kid. And of course we've got Masters of the Universe Revelations there as well. That Battle Cat is awesome. Absolutely love it. And my kind of custom head on Skeletor there. And so to my top 5. Just a mention, just to encourage you, you know, do look at vintage toys. If you're not going to dabble into that, you don't have to kind of spend lots of money on the boxed versions if you don't want to. I tend not to do that. All credit to those that can, but it's not for me. I tend to kind of pick up bits and just encourage you to customize. Have a go, have a play with some of these things. You might surprise yourself. And so, yeah, so number 5 then on my top 5 is Metal Slug 2 from Kangdeo. This isn't actually transformed properly. I quite like the turret being out at the front. As kind of, yeah, a few little gimmicks in there. He's got a light up feature, which I can't really show you very well at the moment because I'm one-handed. He's got that kind of visor that covers that up, and it transforms obviously into the Metal Slug tank from the game. Again, got back into Metal Slug, playing that on the PlayStation Vita, so I love that figure. As I've already shown you, Storm Collectibles, my first Storm Collectibles. I love this. I think the articulation is brilliant. The accessories that comes with it, it just looks like the character's literally popped off the screen or off your, you know, your computer console. He just looks amazing and has just a really good presence on the shelf. So he makes my top 4. And then we have the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon action figures from Hasbro. Fantastic. Love these. I mean, it's been 40 years we've waited for these. 40 years. This is Bobby and Uni, probably my favourite from the toys that have been released in kind of wave 1. But the articulation is there. If you just warm them up, you can articulate them really well. But yeah, really pleased with those. third party offering from New Age, Legends Toy Maker, with the kind of the G1 toy aesthetic going on there. This is the G2 actually, colour scheme. I was really tempted to pick up an original, but I saw that New Age were doing this version, and it's just got kind of all the features there, the metallic gold and kind of the tinted plastic, and I just love it. In dinosaur mode and robot mode, it just looks amazing. So this had to kind of be my number 2 spot, because New Age are just kind of blasting it out of the park at the moment. So yeah, really pleased with those. But my number 1, and it really surprises me to say this, is a Hasbro offering, mainly because it's a bit hit and miss with Hasbro at the moment in terms of kind of gaps and waffles and articulation, all that kind of stuff. But I absolutely love this figure, and I have no connection to it as a child, but it just has so much personality. Again, it just kind of pops off the shelf when you see it. It just kind of, it wants to be animated, you know. It's that kind of figure, and it's just such a great figure to play with. You know, you don't feel like you're going to break it. Loads of cool features, loads of little design choices, like all the kind of mechanics there on the back. You can attach his gun to the back there as well. I have started watching a bit of the old Beast Wars cartoons just because of this character, because Inferno is so cool. And that head sculpt, you can open and close his mouth, so he's got that kind of jaw feature, which again adds a lot of personality. He doesn't come with the blast effect that I've added there, but definitely my top 1 this year. So there we go. That was a quick whiz around my pickups for 2022. You may not have agreed with my choices for the top 5, and that's okay. It's completely subjective. That's the thing about toys, isn't it? We all have our own likes and dislikes, and it's just, I find it fun anyway to see what other people's choices are. I do like top 10 videos, and there's lots of them around at this time of year. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, you've enjoyed seeing the collection. Hopefully you've enjoyed following the channel, and if you haven't, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye then.